Alright guys, so I just set up this OneTigris Smokey Hut, the little Smokey Hut. It's in my backyard. It's a really warm day. It's actually too warm to even be burning wood, but I just wanted to set it up, kind of show you what the process looks like, and I wanted to do kind of a full overview, but I think I will do a very short review. Here's what I have to say about it. It is light. It's a little bit versatile because you can either set it up with a pole or you can set it up with a ridge line the way I did it. I kind of like that. With the pole, you have very limited space inside. It's very hard to work around this. The pole would go exactly where I'm sitting. So there's just not a lot of space in here. I'm 6'5". I find it extremely difficult to really get comfortable inside this thing. In the winter time, you know, I can kind of fit this, my backpack, and myself in here. My toes basically touch one end. My head almost touches the other, even if I lay right in the middle, setting up as a ridge line. So it's not the best. Maybe a really short person wouldn't have as many complaints as I do. I'll tell you that I do see the seams pulling out a little bit on this one, and I'm not being stupid or over torquing on those elastic pieces or the guy out lines or anything. I'm just pulling them, you know, basically tight. There's still some flex here, but they're pulling out, so I'm just not having the best experience with it. I wanted to like this a lot, but I'm not liking it. One of the things that I really appreciate about a 4-point tent with a single pole or a 4-point with a ridge line is it's much easier to stake out. This one, the shape, the like kind of octagonal, pentagonal pattern, whatever it is, I think it's octagon. This pattern is not smooth to set up because of the extra length of material in those corners, those points. It's just really touchy. And so setting it up is frustrating. As soon as you open that door, the tension releases, things move a little bit. I really do think the best idea would be to have the door inside of a panel, not connected to a part that you would, you know, normally want to stake out. I'm not loving it. It's cheap. It's definitely cheap compared to the competition. So if you can make do with that and the frustration and setting it up and resetting it up and trying to find, you know, just the right design for your height and how you're going to use it, the gear you're going to, it's just kind of a really big hassle. That being said, most of the time you just can't put in a stove jack in other kind of tents. Most other tents are kind of heavy and have even less space. Most tents I can't sit up in that are this small and this light. And so it does have an edge on the competition. It's not a piece of garbage. I just think the design is a little complicated. It's a little frustrating. And I really don't love the way that you have to reset up after you've set up. You know, sometimes you'll have to use the elastic piece. Sometimes you can't use it. Using it with a snow skirt, it really reduces the amount of space you have. There are internal and external stakeout points. And when you use the internal ones, you're just having even less space. This is a pretty tiny tent, guys. It seems bigger than it is online. The dimensions are a little bit deceiving when you check that out online. I just found it to be a very okay tent. It's probably still worth the money if you're going to spend around $100 for it. I don't think you'll touch that price with anything else. It can still take it, you know, a stove, pretty small one. It's just the Sportsman's Guide small stove. So as long as it's not much bigger than this, you can fit a backpack in here, your sleeping pad, a couple other things. It will work. Durability is not going to be super high because it's like that sil nylon material. If a stick falls off a tree, it's going to go right through this. There's a couple pros and cons here that really left me wondering if I really like it that much or if I'll keep looking for something else. I may just sell this one and try another one from OneTigris. I don't think they're a bad company at all. I just know that they redesigned this tent for a reason, and now I see what those reasons are. I don't know. I kind of like it just for day trips and that kind of thing. When I have the time, when I have a full day to go out and set it up and get it just how I want. If there's a snowstorm out there and I want to sit and carve and whittle and you know, run the wood stove at the same time, it definitely heats up fast. I'll tell you, this stove is probably 4 times bigger than what it needs to heat this place, even on a very cold day. And so that's a positive. I guess on a really cold night, I'm not going to have trouble heating this thing at all. So I'll probably take it on a few trips, probably post a few more comments and thoughts about it. But overall, I would say look at a bigger one, or maybe do your research first before you really consider this as your landing point for a tent, especially if there's more than one of you. If there's one of you, perhaps. I'm going to go ahead and get this thing fired up. So with that, if the idea of hot tenting or hot tents, running stoves and tents interests you, if you like winter backpacking or cold weather backpacking, go ahead and stay tuned for the review that I'm going to have of the Guide Gear small wood stove. Thanks.